Remember when everyone said learn to code and you'll be set for life? Well, plot twist, the game just changed completely. Recently, at OpenAI's Developer Day in San Francisco, something significant happened. The announcement wasn't just about a new feature or a slight improvement. It was basically a declaration that the way we've been building applications is about to be completely transformed. And here's the thing, most people are either completely unaware this is happening, or they are aware but have no idea how to position themselves to take advantage of it. They are stuck in the old paradigm while a massive shift is occurring right under their noses. So in this video, we are going to break down what's actually happening in the AI development space, why it matters even if you're not a developer, and most importantly, how you can position yourself to benefit from this wave before it's too late. Let's talk about what was actually announced and why it's significant. OpenAI just released about half a dozen features that fundamentally change how developers build AI applications. But the biggest move they are making is turning ChatGPT into an app platform. Think about it for a second. They're not just offering a chatbot anymore. They're creating an entire ecosystem where ChatGPT becomes an operating system that connects to everything else in your digital life. Here's a simple example of how this works. Let's say someone wants to play a specific song on Spotify. Traditionally, you will open the Spotify app and press play. In this new model, you will just tell ChatGPT what you want, and it handles the rest through integrated apps. Now, some folks might look at this and think it's overcomplicating things. Why add an extra step where you could just use the app directly? And that's a fair point for simple tasks. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is what most people miss. This isn't really about making simple tasks easier. It's about creating a centralized hub that can handle complex workflows across multiple platforms without you needing to switch between 10 different apps and manually coordinate everything. The real opportunity isn't in the simple use cases. It's in the complex ones that currently require significant technical knowledge or multiple tools to accomplish. So what does this mean for people who build things online? First, there are some significant API updates. New models like Sora 2 and GPT-5 Pro are now available through the API. For video generation specifically, Sora 2 costs about 50 cents per second of high quality video. That might sound expensive, but consider what it would cost to produce that same content traditionally. There are also smaller, more affordable models being released for voice and image generation. This matters because it lowers the barrier to entry for people who want to build AI-powered features into their products. But here's where things get really interesting, and this is the part that should make your ears perk up even if you have never written a line of code. OpenAI just released something called Agent Kit. It's essentially a visual canvas where you can build AI applications by connecting different components together in a flowchart style without needing to manually write complex code. There's also a GitHub integration that automatically reviews code quality, scans for security issues, and writes documentation. This might seem like a technical detail, but it's actually huge because it means the barrier between having an idea and turning it into a working product just got significantly lower. Now, tools like this always have limitations. At some point, complex projects will still need experienced developers to build them properly. But for a huge range of applications, probably 80% of what people actually want to build, these tools are becoming genuinely capable. Here's what most people don't realize is happening right now. We're in this weird transitional period where the tools are becoming incredibly powerful, but most people haven't caught up to what's possible yet. They are still thinking in terms of the old model where you need a computer science degree and years of experience to build anything meaningful. But that's changing rapidly. The knowledge gap between I have an idea and I have a working product is shrinking dramatically. Think about ChatGPT's user base. Around 800 million weekly active users. That's not just a large audience, that's a massive distribution opportunity for anyone building apps in their ecosystem. Early movers who understand how to build within this new paradigm stand to capture significant value, not because they are the most technically skilled, but because they understand the opportunity and act, while others are still trying to figure out what's happening. This pattern repeats throughout history. When new platforms emerge, whether it was the iPhone App Store, YouTube, or social media, the people who benefit most aren't necessarily the most talented. They are the ones who recognize the platform shift early and position themselves accordingly. But here's the problem that nobody talks about. Having access to powerful tools doesn't automatically translate to success. In fact, it can make things more confusing because now you have unlimited options and no clear path forward. Many people see these announcements and think, great, I'll just use AI to build something. But then they sit down to actually do it and realize they don't know where to start. What should they build? For who? How do they even learn to use these tools effectively? This is where understanding the actual opportunity becomes critical. The tools themselves are becoming commoditized. What's valuable is knowing how to identify problems worth solving and having the knowledge to actually execute on solutions. Consider this: thousands of people will hear about these new AI development tools. Most of them will do nothing with the information. Some will try to use the tools but give up when they hit the first obstacle. And a small percentage will actually figure out how to use these capabilities to build something valuable. The difference between those groups isn't intelligence or even technical skill. It's having the right framework for thinking about opportunities and the knowledge to navigate from idea to execution. This is exactly why communities of people sharing strategies, resources, and real-world implementations become so valuable. When you're trying to navigate a rapidly changing landscape, having access to people who are figuring things out in real time is worth its weight in gold. If you're serious about positioning yourself in this new landscape, you need more than just access to tools. You need a framework for identifying opportunities, practical resources for execution, and ideally, a community of people who are working toward similar goals. That's exactly what the Wealth community provides. Educational resources like guides, templates, video courses, and prompts specifically designed to help you understand and capitalize on these opportunities. Instead of trying to figure everything out from scratch, you get access to battle-tested frameworks and a community of people navigating the same challenges. So what should you actually do with this information? First, understand that we're in the early stages of a major platform shift. The tools for building AI-powered applications are becoming dramatically more accessible. This creates opportunity, but only for people who actually take action. Second, recognize that the barrier to entry is lower than ever, but that also means competition will increase over time. The window for easy wins won't stay open forever. The people who will benefit most will be those who start learning and experimenting now, not those who wait until everything is figured out. Third, and this is crucial, focus on solving real problems, not just playing with cool technology. The temptation with new tools is to build something just because you can, but what actually matters is creating value for specific people with specific needs. The AI development space is moving incredibly fast right now. New tools and capabilities are being released constantly. Trying to keep up with everything individually is nearly impossible. This is where having curated resources becomes invaluable. Instead of drinking from the fire hose of information and trying to separate signal from noise, you need frameworks that help you understand what matters and how to apply it. The most successful people in any platform shift aren't necessarily the ones with the most information. They are the ones with the right information organized in a way they can actually use. That's the core value proposition of something like the Wealth community. Cutting through the noise and giving you actionable frameworks, templates, and resources you can actually implement. Not theoretical knowledge, but practical tools you can use today. Look, I get it. There's always someone saying this is the next big thing, or you need to act now before it's too late. Most of the time it's overblown hype. But sometimes there really are inflection points where the landscape fundamentally changes. The introduction of the iPhone was one. The rise of social media was another. The emergence of AI as a practical tool for building products is another one of those moments. The difference between people who capitalize on platform shifts and those who miss them usually comes down to two things: recognizing the shift is happening and having the knowledge and resources to act on it. You're already aware this is happening. You're watching this video, so the first part is covered. The second part, having the knowledge and resources to actually do something about it. That's where most people get stuck. They know something big is happening, but don't know how to translate that awareness into action. This is exactly the gap that quality educational resources and community support fill. You don't have to figure everything out alone. You can leverage the collective knowledge of people who are actively working in this space and learn from both their successes and their failures. Here's the bottom line. The AI development landscape just went through a major shift. The tools for building AI-powered applications are becoming more accessible, which creates massive opportunity for people who position themselves correctly. But opportunity alone isn't enough. You need the right knowledge, frameworks, and resources to actually execute. If you're serious about taking advantage of this wave, you need to start learning and experimenting now, not later. The Wealth community is designed specifically for people who want practical, actionable resources for building online income streams in this new landscape. Check the link in the description to learn more about the community and the resources available. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you in the next video.